Well, hello backyard vegetable gardeners. Welcome to the Backyard Vegetable Gardening channel. Today is February the 27th, 2024, and I sure hope you're having a great day. Well guys, today's video is going to be a short video. I just want to try to do a little bit better than what I did with the last upload. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead, it's in the playlist, the Beginner Gardener series. We was up potting our plants. And I realized filming that video that I was in the way of the camera. And when we were editing that video, it really bothered me, but I had got that far in. I wasn't gonna just stop and refilm the whole thing. So today, I'm just gonna do a little bit better job. I've moved the camera out of my way. Note to all you YouTubers, if you're right-handed and you want shots, it's easy to put it on the left. Learned that yesterday. So we're gonna put the camera on the left and we're gonna up pot some plants, and hopefully you'll get a better view. All the instructions are the same. This video is just going to have a little clearer view of what actually goes on in the little pots. So hang around guys, we'll up pot some plants. All right, and just like we started with yesterday, we got our little cups. We got them filled with the mixture of the cocoa coir and the perlite starting mix and some compost and manure. If you want the ratios, check out the other video. Like we said, Beginner Gardener series, up potting your plants. Done got our cups filled. We're gonna always pre-moisten our pots. So just give them a little drink here, make sure all that stuff settles in pretty good. And that's all there is to it. And if you notice this pot right here, it's not draining as good as the other ones. So we need to give it a little drink. Some of the potting mixture and the seed starting mixes, initially, they don't take on water very well. So we want to make sure that we get these pre-moistened. That way it retains that moisture and it don't expel our seeds. When you're up potting your plants, it's not such a big deal. The main thing we want to watch out for is we don't want the roots to stay wet all the time. They might develop root rot or some kind of disease. Well today, like I said, real short video. We got our pots filled with the potting mix. We've got them pre-moistened, and we're going to up pot these Nasturtiums. Really great little plants. We started planting them as a trap crop to keep the aphids away from stuff. Seemed to work pretty good, but we also learned that it's a nice herb. You can eat these things, a little peppery flavor. I haven't tried that yet. That's just what I've read. We put them everywhere, and the type we planted last year was the Alaskan variety, I believe. And it grew way bigger than I ever thought. I thought it was just going to be like 24 by 18 or whatever. No, that thing sprawled. And they lived a long time, so they got quite large. Well, today, try to keep it short. Get our little dibbler tool out. Make a big old hole in the center of your cups. You want plenty enough room for those roots. And I don't know how many's in there. In that cup, how many Nasturtiums are in the cup, folks? I just grabbed me some pots and filled them and kind of estimated. You'd think I'd think a little bit farther ahead than that, but I knew I had a plenty. There shouldn't be 5 or 6 in here. All right, so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wiggle jiggle my cup here. Go ahead and lay that out of the way. And what I like to do, you can fork these out if you want to, but I just like to loosen the soil up. And I've got a little tool here. I think it came with some of these trays like this. And it depends on how you want to do it. You could take the fork and do it, but I just find it simpler like this. And look at those roots. Just great root development. And I don't think I dropped one there. Big old clump just fell out. But you just want to separate them gently without messing up your plants. And if you noticed the way those roots are growing, that's exactly why we're doing what we're doing. So these roots don't get too awful wrapped together, and they got plenty of room in these cups to develop healthy roots. So when we transplant them, they do a good job for us. Now I'm trying to be really careful here. One little trick that you can do when you do this is you can have your cup of water handy, and a lot of times that helps pretty good. But today, I don't think I need that. We got them in just enough time, so try to show you with this one. Might get a better view. Hold it up to this camera, make a good mess on the table here. Those nice healthy roots. So we got our big old hole in here, and I can tell you that hole is not going to be big enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to widen that hole. I'm going to get my roots. You don't have to be too awful gentle with them. You don't want to hurt them or damage them, but you do want to get them down in there really good. And then I'm going to get my little dibbler tool back, because it seems to do a good job. In fact, this little flat spoon here might be what I need, because I don't think I went down far enough. But you want to make sure that you get that plant deep enough in the ground. And one thing, I'm going to take it back out and show you something. There's still the seed pod. So I'm going to make that a little bit deeper there, because that was not deep enough. And one thing to mention is, when you're doing this, be delicate with your stem. You do not want to damage your stem, because that's where that's what's responsible for carrying all of those nutrients up to that plant. And that's all there is to it, folks. So we'll go in there and we'll dig our hole out, make sure it's deep and wide. Oh, this got a little baby. And then we'll just take it, get our roots, shove them down in the hole there, and they'll start doing good again. And probably could have used a bigger pot for these, just to be honest with you, from what I'm seeing here. But just get them down there about where you pulled them out before, and firm it up, and they'll do good. So we'll move them out of the way, try to do you a better job than we did yesterday. Folks, I do apologize for that, but I'm learning all this stuff as I go. And sometimes, even with the best intentions, we don't think things through, and we get in a hurry. To be honest with you, these roots are very, very large. I'm very pleased. So we got our hole widened out. Drop our roots down in there, push them down the bottom. Get your plant about the same depth, and for these nasturtiums, it's about a half an inch deep. You want that seed about a half an inch deep, and I am going to put a little bit more of the potting mix in here. Firm it down, move it out of the way, widen the hole again, and we'll grab us another one. So very happy here, very pleased. These have become one of our favorite flowering plants to grow as far as the garden grows, because they just did such a great job. And honestly, they're quite pretty when they're full and in bloom. We rather enjoyed them. So guys, again, I do apologize for getting in the way of the other video. You don't know how bad I feel, especially having to make a new one. I don't normally put out 2 videos in 1 week. But today I had a little bit of time on my hands, felt bad about it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put out another video. Like I said, we're really trying to share with you what it took us several years to learn. We're not expert gardeners, but we do grow a good garden. Certainly not professional YouTubers, so our content is not cinematic. But we certainly do want to be a blessing to you, and that's what we're trying to do here. So once you get your plants potted up, we're going to again take the watering can, and this time I'm going to take that little diffuser off, and I'm just going to put a little water in there. And all we're wanting to do is put enough water in there that soil gets all around those roots. We want those roots to settle in their new home, and we'll keep this watered just a little bit more frequently for the next just few days here. With this particular potting soil, it's not going to dry out too quickly, because it's got that compost in it, and that seems to help it hold the water better. Because this is a good quality manure and compost blend, and with the cocoa coir. And while we're on the subject of the cocoa coir, I will tell you, the one negative thing I've found out about the cocoa coir is it doesn't retain the moisture quite as good as the peat moss that we've traditionally used to make our potting soils. So that's one thing I'm going to be aware of next year. So folks, If you found this interesting, if you appreciate the videos, I sure would appreciate it if you liked them. If you like gardening related content, if you're a new gardener, check out our beginner gardener series. If you just enjoy what we're doing here, subscribe to the channel. And as always, it's certainly been our pleasure to be with you. Hope you're having a great day.